Coming up, we'll take a stroll through Fort Lee's annual Arts and Music Festival. They were running for our youth, and this Fort Lee High School student was the first to cross the finish line. A state-of-the-art Brae Park is now open, just in time for summer. Hi, I'm Linda McHugh. Welcome to this month's edition of Fort Lee Today on Demand. Each year, on the first Sunday in June, Fort Lee holds its annual Arts and Music Festival. And every year, the event gets bigger and bigger, rain or shine.
Today we got a little rain for some parts of the day, but mostly it was really good. We had about 160 vendors, and the fun part is we had two stages of music, most of them Fort Lee-based bands, including our Fort Lee High School Battle of the Bands winner.
Hasn't stopped the people from coming out. Everybody's enjoying themselves, great music, great food, and we're all here, so, you know, nothing stops Fort Lee when the weather doesn't stop us.
I think it brings people out from Fort Lee and people from outside Fort Lee here, and it's such a great town, and we're more and more getting aligned with the arts in terms of music, cinema, and I have nothing but good things in the future, I think, for this festival and hooking up with the diverse population of Fort Lee.
When we started the film commission and the historic site, we focused in on bringing the arts back to Fort Lee. It's a natural spill of talent coming from Manhattan, and to have it in here in Fort Lee and utilize it to our benefit, it's good for everybody. It's good for the kids. It's good for all the families.
5 days leading up to the Arts and Music Festival was Fort Lee's first Fringe Festival, which is a performing arts smorgasbord. The Fringe Festival originated in Scotland in 1947.
The idea is to do something simple, an hour, no longer, and do a pop-up music, art, theater event, things like that, a history event. We're in the Palisades section with a car show. We were in Coatesville yesterday celebrating a historic house, and we were at this new Hudson Lights Park for 2 days with music. So it was really successful, and I can't wait to do it next year again. A lot of fun.
Fort Lee PBA Local 245 held its first Fast and Flat 5K run on June 11th to benefit the youth of the borough. Now, despite the high heat and humidity on race day, more than 500 runners and walkers came out to show their support.
It was organized by the members of Fort Lee PBA Local 245. It was an idea that came forward from our sports team, who participates in 5K events throughout the county over the course of the year. So they brought the idea forward to the PBA, and we let them run with it, and they did a fantastic job.
You won today's race, and I hear this is your first 5K. How did you do that?
Ran it. It wasn't really that hard. I didn't have anybody to face with, so I went with one guy, but then he wasn't there anymore, so I just kept on going.
We had over 500 participants. We raised over $30,000 for the youth within Fort Lee.
We had an untimely passing of one of our patrolmen, William T. Birch, on September 4th, 1966. He has 3 beautiful daughters and over 20 grandchildren that he never met. So in their honor, in his honor, we're going to start a children's fund called the William T. Birch Fort Lee Children's Fund, and all the money is going to be dispersed throughout Fort Lee, throughout youth organizations within town that we could have the best impact on in his name.
We're just so excited to be here. It's such a positive way to remember him and just celebrate his life, something that was sad and tragic, that we can kind of have it go forward as something good for everybody in the community.
We didn't expect this many people, but it turned out to be a great event. When you raise it for the right reason, kids, you're going to get a good turnout.
Thank you, Fort Lee, for everything you do.
Thank you. Welcome to Fort Lee's first Brae Park, located here alongside the Recreation Center, where a wading pool once stood. Now, a splash pad like this has no standing water, which means it's actually safer than a pool, and it's environmentally friendly and handicap accessible.
It's just a great day for the kids today, and for Fort Lee as well.
This is a state-of-the-art Brae Park. It's chlorinated, but it's very healthy. The water is recycled, so it's environmentally sound. And we're happy with it. We don't need a lifeguard, but we're going to have somebody here supervising anyway. The water doesn't accumulate.
We put in an underground filtration system. All these spray features are on timers, And the water gets circulated through the drains, chlorinated, so it's all clean water. And it cycles back and forth, and the kids seem to be having a great time.
I thought it was really fun, and I would come back here again.
Do you like the spray park?
Yeah.
Was it fun? What was your favorite part?
The big bowl thing where you can go under the water.
We do have 12 parks in Fort Lee. People don't know that, but they're all really great. From Constitution Park down here, it's really terrific here.
It's not just about paving roads and building buildings. You got to remember who lives here, and there's a lot of kids that live here, and they're here all summer, and they deserve something like this.
Hey, who's to say I'm not going to go in there when it's 90, 95? You can always walk through and get wet.
That I want to see.
So do I.
We love the spray park!
That wraps up our show for this month. We'll see you next time.